good evening. My name is Wallace Gaylor Bradley, and I'm the host of the Bradley Report. I'm also the president of United in Peace, Inc. We got a very interesting show. Want to share a few things. You got two billionaires. One is a governor. You got a billionaire that supported the other guy that was a governor. That billionaire is worth $12 billion, and he want to come at Governor J.B. Pritzker's $3 billion. But at the end of the day, which one really concerned about the betterment of the residents of Illinois, especially African Americans? We're going to talk about the Fraternal Order Police that made a decision that he'd rather resign than give the mayor the right to fire him. And then he got ambition to run for mayor. We're going to talk about the fact that the police reform decree, because of bad officers, needs to be addressed. And we're going to talk about the continuing protests against McDonald's corporate systemic racism and sexual harassment. The issues of this show was prepared and put together by the chairman of United Peace, Inc. She's also the producer and director of this show, none other than my wife, Terry Marsh Bradley. And the technical wherewithal is being done by Omari the Great. So without further ado, to God be the glory. Omari, let's go to work.
That gun and you fire that gun, anyone that get harmed from you firing that gun, that's an innocent bystander. We asking the community, ostracize them, push them out, don't let them hide anywhere, don't support them, and let law enforcement do their job.
The code is this: if you pick up that gun to solve your problem, I'm not endorsing violence. I'm saying you're violating the code if you discharge that weapon and innocent people get shot or killed, especially a child or an elderly person. And the community must uphold that code.
He got a shoe shine.
The reason that it worked in the 90s, because everyone was a part of it. Kids, women, elderly, was off limits.
You didn't touch him.
Didn't touch them.
Ostracized from the community, pushing you out of the community, not supporting you in the community or protecting you in the community, so that law enforcement can do their job by apprehending, and the Cook County State's Attorney can do her job by making sure that you get a fair prosecution. This is so that there's no retaliation in the community because you discharge or you fire that weapon at your attendant or intended partner.
We all got to come together. Those of you, my name is Wallace Gaylor Bradley. I'm the urban translator. I'm the president of United Peace, Inc. We all got to come together to let it be known that Black lives matter everywhere. Regardless if a police shoots somebody that's black, it means twice as much to our community when someone black is shooting someone black.
With at least 8 children under the age of 10 shot in the city in just 2 weeks, some are asking if that code still carries any weight.
This is something that we got to do.
Gator catches up with some friends on Calumet.
That 1-year-old that got killed.
His conversations of late have focused on kids getting shot. He says the rule still applies.
We as men got to put it down and say, that still exists. It never left.
We all got a responsibility.
We all got a responsibility, man.
It never left.
I'm putting a call out to all the brothers. You know what we do. Put the word on the street that this is no longer tolerated. Me and Holmes work together and we know how it works. We've been able to help individuals turn themselves in of the community, kick them out for law enforcement to come and arrest them. Now is the time. Just like it was the video from Miss Frazier that let everybody know about the awakening of George Floyd. Somebody got a video, or we need to use our videos to stop this senseless violence.
And I believe that vengeance belongs to the Lord. And with that, I want to say, to God be the glory. And that's my story. You know, I've been opening my show with this in reference to violence, and it's gotten worse. But to keep everybody focused on what we as a people need to do. And we need to support the zero tolerance against senseless shootings, violence, and killings. Zero tolerance against the abuse and the rape of women and children. Zero tolerance against the abuse and the robbery of seniors and elders. Everyone. It takes all of us. The mayor, the governor, the county board president, all the elected officials, whether you in Cook County government or you in the city government or the various municipalities around Cook County and the state or in state government. All the pastors, whether you belong to this church or you belong to that church or you belong to this synagogue, I know they're not pastors, or you belong to the various mosques, I know that you guys are not known as pastors, okay? You ministers, okay? We all need to come to fraternity, the sororities, the Masonic orders, the brothers from behind the walls that's seeking redemption need to be in support of this violence. I know you heard that even in the hip-hop industry, where it was brought to my attention that Jay Prince from Rap-A-Lot and Larry Hoover Jr. is trying to convince Drake and Kanye to stop with having a beef about what's happening, and they getting focused to possibly have a concert together to help benefit Larry Hoover Sr. and fighting for him to be free. The concert, I believe, is going to be in California on December the 7th, D-Day, appropriate D-Day. And I also understand that in Fulton County, the elected officials there has dedicated the day to Larry Hoover. They made a proclamation on behalf of Larry Hoover. It's not the same, and I'm not dissing anyone, as GD's now in the building or in the door, or whatever that is, not dissing anyone. I'm just saying that this is different. It reminds me of what everyone did when they came together to help free Mandela. This is a movement, in my opinion, that's known as fairness and redemption in the name of humanity. Help free Larry Hoover. Help free others that's wrongfully convicted, that have harsh or inhumane sentences. We're seeing people coming home every day. So let's work together to stop the violence. Now, let's deal with Brother Omari. Let's deal about these two rich guys. We the people must work together to make Illinois, yeah, I know them two guys there. That's the governor right there. That's right after he made the decision to, by executive order, to create an office within the government of the state of Illinois dealing with making where senseless violence is like a health issue. But he's pushing, or he made a decision to put $230 million into that. And there's another picture too, Amari. Could you put it up a little bit? A little bit more. There, come down some. Come down some, Brother Amari. Could you bring it down a little bit? Look, right there. It's very important. This is where the governor is sharing with me his sincerity to do everything with the resources that he has to help turn the tide against senseless violence, shootings, and killings of anyone, of everyone, by anyone, especially when it's African Americans that's shooting other African Americans. And the fact he was on his way to Scotland, I think it was, to deal with the climate change or talking about the clear energy. I was with him when he ran the first time because I know he believed in criminal justice reform. And when he did the commercial saying where he made a lot of mistakes, I let him know we're human beings and I'm going to be with you this time. And that's very important because anybody else that's going to run against him, I haven't seen a platform, they haven't shown you a platform about criminal justice reform, police reform, ending senseless violence in our community. And we are in an era where the Republican Party and those that support them believe in the big lie because they feel that if they can tell a lie, tell a lie, tell a lie, tell a lie, eventually the people are going to just come absorbed with the lie to the point that they believe the lie. You see it happening with Trump. You got a lot of people thinking, and Republicans here in Illinois, black, white, brown, a lot of them feel like Trump didn't lose the election. The next story, Brother Mari, is the story that's, it deals with, let me see here. According to Mike Sneed, right there, are Illinois twin billionaires, Governor J.B. Pritzker and Ken Griffin, rivals or cartoon characters? They're not cartoon characters. They are rivals. Could you take it up a little bit, Amari? Right. Go a little bit more. Right there. According to this article that Sneed wrote, she says squabbling between the governor and the richest man in Illinois make them reminiscent of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland figures. They are real people. Twiddly Dee and Twiddly Dum from the Lewis Carroll's Alice Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. Okay? Translation. According to Sneed, the billionaire boys Ken Griffin and Governor J.B. Pritzker are now duking it out. And although they claim to differ politically, they certainly are acting like the identical twins in Alice's Adventure in Wonderland, except in a derogatory context. Once again, men acting like wealth is power. You think? Let's unpack. Last week, hedge fund magistrate. Okay, Brother Martin. Last week, hedge fund magistrate Griffin, known as the state's richest man, his worth is $21 billion, plans to go all in, funding a challenger to beat Democrat Illinois Governor Pritzker, whose worth is $3.6 billion. This man said he is willing to funding a challenger. I'm of the opinion from what I'm reading that can be a Democrat that's running against J.B. Pritzker in June, or a Republican that's running against J.B. Pritzker in November of 2022. Pritzker doesn't deserve to be governor of our state, Griffin said, who financed GOP Governor Bruce Reynolds' campaign. This is what he said in the event in New York. The next day, Pritzker pumped $171 million from his own wallet into his own gubernatorial campaign to unseat Reynolds, and he won. He shot back, blasting Griffin for backing his disastrous predecessor. Well, we know how that turned out. Illinois ended up not having a budget for 2 years. Black businesses, white businesses, all kind of businesses that was providing services for the state couldn't get paid for backing Reynolds, and said he spent the last 3 years, this is what J.B. Pritzker has been doing for the last 3 years, trying to undo the damage that Reynolds did to Illinois. Grown men shaking out each other's expensive political laundry. Rich guys acting like they have all the answers. No, they don't. Give us a break, Sneed says. Is brain power based on Bitcoin? Do dollars always make sense? Have they each lost a sense of adult propriety? Whom are they trying to wingle? Us. Which is common sense. Illinois in the situation not because of J.B. Pritzker. Illinois is in the situation because of Ronna. Okay? Just like in Washington, D.C. We coming out of a bad state of affairs because Trump was there. And it looked like Biden is doing the best that he can for all of Americans, even those that didn't vote for him. Thank God for the bipartisan infrastructure bill that he just signed into law, talking about President Biden. Historically, Adam Smith, 1776, published a masterpiece on modern economics titled The Wealth of Nations, discusses the ability of the wealthy to exercise economic and political power. Not so surprising then that Griffin funded Ronna's gubernatorial campaign, one rich man endorsing the candidacy of a wealthy kingsman who supports his political and economic objectives. So that's letting you know if Griffin is with someone, it's all about him. Because we see the economic objective that Ronna had that put Illinois in such a hole, it was hard to dig out. As columnist Mike Royko once said, politics has always been full of connivers, wheeler dealers, con artists, misfits, and deadbeats. Politics also houses the wealthy givers who have a personal net worth outside their bank accounts. So calm down, fellas. Political spit is nothing compared to political grit. At the end of the day, it's up to the voters to make the decision. You know where we are now. Don't forget where we were. Don't get tricked by a political party that won't stand and say to their standard bearer, which is Trump, that, hey, Trump, you lost the race. Everybody, the election was over. He lost the race. Hey, Republicans, y'all obligated to do the right thing, to sign on bills, to push bills, okay, to guarantee that individuals got a right to vote. So they're going to have a bunch of African Americans that's going to go with this man that's saying he's willing to spend all kind of money to try to take Illinois like it's going to help us as a people, and it's not. So I'm telling you, don't be McFooled by what Griffin is doing. I'm glad that Sneed wrote that piece because what they banking on is how a guy beat a state senator, I believe it was in New Jersey. You don't know how much money he had or how the dog money helped him to win. Came out of nowhere. Don't forget that Griffin has shown Illinois people that J.B. Pritzker can't be beat because of what they did when they was trying to push that tax thing. And we saw how that turned out. They had more no votes than yes votes. The next piece I want to get up there. Okay. Police reform. Let me see, Omari. You may have to, okay, we probably can't get it. Okay, let's go to the next story, where the FOP, right there. The Fraternal Order Police president, he resigned. His intentions is to run for mayor. We're going to pull that story up in 1 minute. It should be where Channel 7 did audio piece on it. Well, anyway, the Fraternal Order of Police president, a Trump-Tonian type of guy, the same guy that came and protested in front of Cook County State's Attorney's Office, along, I believe, with some of the guys that feel like they're about the Proud Boys type of individuals, bunch of racist individuals came down there to protest. That's the story right there. Okay, they came out. See if you can get that one. Anyway, he was the one that was telling the police that they didn't have to show if they had been vaccinated or they had took the test in order to continue to work. But then it came out he was vaccinated. And it's wild because that's what I was telling you earlier. The Republican type of thing that they pushing on us as a people is dangerous. Their politics is dangerous. He was in support of the January 6th insurgery where they attacked the Capitol. He don't believe that those individuals should be tried for their crimes. They don't like Kim Foxx because Kim Foxx was freeing individuals that were wrongfully convicted because of police misconduct. He don't like the mayor. It gives one the impression that he has something against black women that's in power. I'm just judging from his action, just the conversation people are having in the community. The question becomes, would he still be the president of the Fraternal Order of Police? And a lot of the African American police officers feel like the Fraternal Order of Police take their dues. But when it comes to providing a lawyer for them, they don't get the same thing that the white officers get up under this man's leadership. They lawyers, bad police, if they're white, they lawyers get paid out of their dues. Black police officers get caught up. We don't know where they getting the money to pay for their lawyers. Case in point, black police officer that was wrong and went to the penitentiary, every case that was up under him, the individuals end up getting out. White police officers that was involved in the John Burge tortures and everything, bad cases, they don't go back and say every case that these officers had, those people need to be free. Hispanic officers do wrong, misconduct, framing individuals. Every case that Hispanic officer was involved with, the people getting justice. But they don't get it when it's a white officer like John Burge now. This man that want to run for mayor is the same man that feel like the guy that killed Laquan McDonald. He feel like he should be free. So don't be be fooled because you may be a little bit mad because Lori Lightfoot ain't did this and ain't did that. Start paying attention to what she is doing in the African American community and in the Hispanic community and other communities to make things right when the African American community on the west side and the south side was getting no development. Don't be fooled. All right, we don't like Lori, she ain't did this, she ain't did that. She's a politician that became the mayor. Never ran for office. Don't get tricked by a man that got a whole lot of money to come and push a lie, the same way Trump and them doing, a lie, till you start believing the lie and say you want something better like you did with Ronna and got something worse. I just want to say this. It's my time. I got to wrap it up. I want to tell everybody, get vaccinated. Stay prayerful. Wear your mask. Get vaccinated. Stay prayerful. Wear your mask. Get your booster shot. And with that, I want to say to God be the glory. That's my story. Thank you.